As we begin our discussion on human reliability, the first behavior we'll examine is human error. There are two types of human behaviors that we'll be examining throughout this section. The first will be choices that we make, and we'll hold that discussion off for subsequent learning modules. In this learning module, we're going to focus in on the term error and how that applies to human beings. You can define errors as inadvertent thoughts or actions, that is, taken without intention or accidental. Inadvertent errors can be mental, or they can also be physical. Here's just a few examples. Now let's take a look at what we mean by inadvertent action. Inadvertent actions can come in a variety of forms. The first is what we would call a slip. We'll give you a couple of examples of that in just a moment. The second example of an inadvertent action is called a lapse. And the third example is a mistake. Now, what are the differences between these words, you might be asking? Well, we'll describe a few of the differences, but the important thing to remember is that they're more common than they are different. What that means is that they all involve inadvertent action. That is, I didn't intend to do what happened. So we'll describe a few of these here now. So here's the classic example of a slip, and this is a physical action, of course. Clear example of something that you didn't intend to do but can happen. The second example is the term lapse, and a lapse could be an act of forgetfulness. And this gentleman here is demonstrating what must be the classic universal sign of, oh my gosh, I forgot something. I should have had a V8, or I should have brought my homework, or I should have done something. This is what we would call a lapse. Now, the third example is what we call a mistake. And a mistake is a really broad category that could involve a number of things. It could be a mistaken course of action, a mistaken decision, but certainly it's something that involves inadvertency. Now, this is a picture here of someone in healthcare. Of course, it doesn't have to be specific to a clinical person in healthcare. It could be any one of us. It could be housekeeper. It could be an accountant in finance. We all make mistakes. Now, in summary, we'll discuss a little bit deeper next time what these three types of errors have in common and how we can actually understand principles from system design that can help us manage those outcomes or those human errors. We'll discuss that in great detail, and in the next module, we'll tie this together.